Hi, this is Jeremy Moskowitz, Microsoft MVP and founder of PolicyPak Software. And in this video, we're going to take the Windows Virtual Desktop icons and put them into a very nice place in the Start screen. Now, they are here in the Start screen already, hanging out under F for me for Fabricam. You can see all the icons are here. But what I know that people want to do is to actually get the right icons on the correct side, on the right side, at the right time. And that's what the PolicyPak Start Screen and Taskbar Manager does. So not only can we put icons here on the right side, we can also put icons on the taskbar ready to use. So instead of having to have your users know the secret sauce of the remote desktop or having them have to know where to find them on the left side, we're going to plant them squarely where they need to be on the right side and squarely into the taskbar. Well, how do we do that? Now, to make things go a little bit faster for this video, I'm doing something it's a little unusual. I'm having the guy who is on this machine, and this machine is going to represent your laptop or this person's laptop. Just for the sake of this demonstration, this person is a group policy editor. So this person, eSales User 1, has created a GPO called PP Start Screen for Windows Virtual Desktop. And here's the GPO itself. So we're going to do this in the PolicyPak node in the Start Screen and Taskbar, the Start Screen Manager first. We're going to add what's called a new collection, and the collection describes the style you want to use. I'm going to use partial preserve, which is going to leave what the user already has in place and add my own stuff. I could also do full replace, which would nuke what they have, but I'm just going to leave what they have in place. The next thing I want to do here is to create the actual group name. So I'm going to create a new group called, say, WVD apps or something. WVD apps. There we go. You can have multiple groups if that's what you want to show on the start screen. And then I'm going to add my first application. Now this is going to be called a desktop application tile. And I'm going to add what's called a custom application. Now, what's happening in Windows Virtual Desktop land is if you take a look here, all the icons. Let's take a look at Firefox, for instance. If we right-click and go to More Open File Location, the icons are all hanging out here on the Start menu, and that's great. We're going to leverage this information right now. So we're going to right-click over here and go to Properties. And we're going to take this target location, we're going to paste it in place here and click on Next. And that's going to open up more items. The thing, however, is that you can see that it's referencing a specific user here, which is not great because you don't want everybody who gets this particular policy setting to try to use these credentials. You want them to be using their credentials all the time. So we have to do a little bit of replacement therapy here, and we're going to exchange this with %username %at %user DNS domain %. Okay, so that is how we're going to replace the username. The other thing we need to replace here is you can see what happens is that MSRDC is calling a particular user's RDP document here. Okay. You can see all that. And that's not good, so we need to replace that as well. So that's not a big deal. So we're going to take this app data local stuff, so replace all that with %local app data %. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to evaluate this for every single person who gets this policy. We're going to run the MSRDC application against that particular person's local app data and feed in the correct username and DNS domain for them to log on. That's the secret sauce here. So the next thing we want to do is give it a name. So I'll call this WVD Firefox. You can give it any name you want. Let me go ahead and also change the icon. And the way we'll do this is that we will go here, click on Change Icon, and we'll capture the icon information from WVD and click into it, and we're off to the races. That's all there is to it. And we'll go ahead and click Next. And we can make it a medium icon or a small icon, and we can change exactly what column and row it's in. If you don't do that, we'll make a decision for you, and that's it. You're off to the races. Why don't we do one more since we're here? Or actually, we can do two more since we're here. I'll do another desktop application tile. I'll do a custom application. And then once again, let me go ahead and find the Windows Virtual Desktop icons. Whoops, the one that I want this time is Chrome. Now, for some reason, when we published this application in Windows Virtual Desktop, the Chrome icon didn't shine through Not exactly sure why. Maybe that's just a preview thing. But long story short is that's going to be a little bit problematic if you want to put an icon in there. So let's go ahead and fix that problem. So first thing we want to do is change the target application. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and change the username over to, like I said, percent username percent at percent user DNS domain percent. Okay, we get that guy, and then we'll, like I said, find the reference to, there we go, the particular user and local app data, and change that to percent local app data percent. Okay, and you're off to the races. So go ahead and click next. Now we can, like I said, give this a name. We can call this WVD Chrome. And then we'll change the icon. Now again, because the icon didn't shine through for some reason, we have a couple choices. Choice number one is to point to an application that exists locally on the desktop. That would work, and then you can pull the icons from there. Another choice is to look in Shell 32, because we know that's going to be on every machine, and then you can pick an icon like this little star guy here, something like that. Okay, and we'll go ahead and click medium as well. Why don't I do one more? And the thing I want to do is a full desktop here. So maybe I'll pick this guy here, Win10 on host pool 1. I'll go get these properties here. So we're really just doing the same thing again and again. So we'll go ahead and click on new desktop application tile, custom application. We're going to paste that in and click next. And we're going to change this over, the username part over to, whoops, change the user part over to percent username percent at percent user DNS domain percent. Okay, and then the last mile again is to find the reference to local app data for that guy, and then move it to percent local app data percent. All right, so then we'll call this full WVD desktop. Okay, and then we'll change the icon, and we can use that icon, came out fine, so we'll go ahead and click on change icon here, copy that guy, paste it in here, and there we go. And we're off to the races. We'll go ahead and click next, and we'll make this a small icon, do something a little different. Now, here's the thing. You probably want this particular WVD apps group to only hit when you're on your real machines, okay? You probably don't want this same start screen layout to show up when you're in a virtual desktop, okay? So how do we do that? Well, we need some criteria to know what our machines are. Now, this machine I'm actually on, if I type hostname, this machine I'm actually on, they all my real machines start with the word computer in it. Okay, well, if I know that, I can say only deliver the Windows Virtual Desktop apps group when a certain condition is true, and that's called item level targeting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say when the computer name matches star computer star, okay, only when it matches that, then it lights up orange, which means only do this stuff when that condition is true. Aha. So that's pretty nifty. The last thing I want to do is to take some work that I already did here in Firefox, take this target application, and we're going to recycle that and also shove that into the taskbar. So we're going to say whenever we'll create a new taskbar collection, and we'll merge it with whatever's already there, and then we'll create a new item here. So create a new desktop application, and we'll make it again a custom app, and this is on the taskbar. We've already done the work. We've already replaced everything we need to for Firefox. We've already got the username there and local app data. We're ready to rock. So we'll just go ahead and just put the right icon in here. So it doesn't really matter what this is called, even WVD Firefox. And we'll change the icon to the correct Firefox icon. Okay, right click, properties, get that icon here, and grab that, paste that in here, bang. Okay, so that's it. That's how you plant an icon on the taskbar. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close all this out. Close all this out. And Now let's go ahead and run GP update on this machine. Okay, that's going to get us the latest, greatest settings here to verify that we got what we wanted. And then after this, we'll see our results when we log off and log back on. That's when we're going to see the activity happen. So we'll do this first. We'll log off and log back on, and then we'll log on as eSalesUser2 and see what happens there as well. And now let's log back on. So now that we're logged on, we can see that the Firefox icon is here on the taskbar, and we can also see it just the way we expected. We've created our group called WVD Apps, and we can see that we've got Firefox and Chrome and our itty bitty full WVD desktop. If I go ahead and click on WVD for Firefox, you can see it's connecting to the remote session, and will start momentarily and be available to us just like that. That's exactly what we expect. You could, like I said, you could also run it from the taskbar, and when you do, you'll see it launch exactly the same way right there. And you can see the little icon is available to note that it's there from WVD. Let's go ahead and also, just for fun, let me go ahead and sign out here. So we'll go ahead and log on as eSalesUser2 here. And he's going to get a very similar experience to eSalesUser1. You should see the Firefox icon on the taskbar and the same items in the start menu. Although we could have had a different experience for eSalesUser2 if we wanted, but we didn't do that. Anyway, you can see there's the Firefox icon on the taskbar, and there's the WVD apps here as well. Now, what's happening when we click on it, remember, it's pushing through this person's username, which is eSalesUser2 at fabricam4000.com. So it's doing a little substitution for us, which is pretty nice. And there we go. It's there's Firefox WVD doing its thing. And if we wanted to also, we didn't do it earlier, so let's go ahead and do it now. If we're to click on the full WVD desktop experience, it's going to push that all the way through because it knows that person's username because you substituted it when we were creating the icon. So if we were to say who am I here, it's a little hard to tell, but if we were to go to command prompt and say who am I, there you go. There's eSalesUser2. So all said and done, getting the icons on the start menu for your real machines or even inside your Windows virtual desktops is super easy to do, and we'll have another video for that. So I'll go ahead and sign out of this. So I hope this helps you out and gets you started. The whole goal, once again, is to enable your, for this video, to have your real machines, instead of them trying to find the icons they want on the left side or have to know the magical application in order to launch Windows Virtual Desktop, just plant the applications they need either on the start screen or on the taskbar using PolicyPak Start Screen and Taskbar Manager. Hope this video helps you out. Looking forward to helping you get started real soon. Thanks a bunch.